Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Alright folks, let's get cracking here. We're going to stick on to the Marvel comic books here and we're going to talk about three issues, and not in the order that you think. The first one was written by Randy Stradley, and this one actually takes place in issue 86. Now, Leia goes on a mission to Yonkori and is betrayed and held hostage by her own people, who are angry with her because they think she's responsible for the destruction of Alderaan, and so they're calling her in and calling the Empire in to go get her. You know, say, hey, we capture her, Empire, come pick her up. Now, this is kind of a common story that we've heard a few other times. There's a few people who are just angry because, hey, to be honest, Leia is the reason that Alderaan was destroyed, right? Grand Moff Tarkin picked it out specifically to put pressure on Leia to reveal the secret location of the Rebel base. Now, what people did not know, what the public didn't know, is that Tarkin was going to destroy Alderaan anyway. Alderaan had been a thorn in the Empire's side for so many years. The Emperor probably laughed, and maybe it was his suggestion, maybe it wasn't even Tarkin's suggestion, to go ahead and destroy Alderaan. So Alderaan was a goner either way, but the people didn't know that. They just know that, maybe they found out that Leia had lied to Tarkin, and that's why he was so mad, and that's why he destroyed the planet. Either way, everyone's going to push the blame. In the real world, they'll push the blame on people without finding the true story about what happened. And so, in fiction, this actually makes perfect sense. Now, why did I jump ahead to 86 when I'm actually in, and I'm about to review, 53 and 54? Because supposedly this issue 86, this took place at this time. It was like a previous story, or at least that's what I'm told, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that and put it right here in the timeline. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is written by Chris Claremont. Ah yes, the great Chris Claremont of X-Men fame, and this is before X-Men, but he wrote a couple of Star Wars comic books, and they were issues 53 and 54. Now, in these issues, Leia crash lands. That's right. We're going back to the old crash landing story. She crash lands on the planet Shiva 4 and is attacked and captured by the Empire. Now, in issues 54, actually, Luke, Lando, and Chewie go off to rescue Leia. So this is a, damsel in distress story. Once again, she gets captured, she needs help, and the gang goes to rescue her. Now, the artwork of this looks a little funny, meaning the characters, it looks more on the fancy side than it does the sci-fi, and you're thinking, oh, that was just the times, right? Actually, it wasn't. The real reason for this is because these were old comic books left over from Marvel's canceled John Carter of Mars series. Now, if you haven't read Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter of Mars, you are kind of missing out. It is the classic tale of science fiction way before science fiction was invented. I love the John Carter series. Now, they had created a comic book back in the day that people were following. Eventually they got tired of, so Marvel canceled it. Unfortunately, they still had comic books or artwork from that canceled comic book. So they decided, since, hey, well, we need more stuff for Star Wars, let's just repurpose this artwork and put it into a Star Wars story, which is why the artwork looks more on the fantasy side than it does Star Wars-y side. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, some people may say, well, Matt, that's kind of lazy. They're just using old artwork from a canceled comic book. Yeah, but back in the day, waste not, want not, right? Let's just repurpose it and fit it into a Star Wars thing. I can understand it. Saves them a few bucks. They know those Star Wars comic books are selling like hotcakes, and no one's going to care. So they just repurpose those old John Carter comic books into Star Wars comic books, which I thought was very interesting. In fact, when I read it, it made a lot of sense about the comic style, the artist style that was shown in those comic books. Either way, they're fine books to read, and of course, I love the Marvel series all the same. All right, folks, that's all the time I have for now. See you next time with another video.